with humble obeisances to the eldest son of King Dasharath, Lord Ram. From the wild, wacky, weird world of pandemonium emerges a trilogy, a gift of three stories based on the Adbhut Ramayana. Story number 2. By Jove, never heard of it. Weird stories. The following story is adapted from the book Adbhut Ramayana. It has stories narrated by sage Valmiki to sage Bharadwaj. Title of the story: Why Queen Sita Laughed, or When Queen Sita Killed Sahasramukha Ravan by only her nail. I bet a lot of you have never ever heard these weird stories before. Our story begins after the return of Lord Ram from Lanka, having killed Ravan. Ram was coronated king, and the happy, joyous Ram Rajya had just newly commenced. After Ram's coronation in Ayodhya, everything was hunky dory, and as was the custom in those times, bards and poets would sing praises of the king's valiant deeds in the royal court. This custom is prevalent even today, called as paid media or sold journalists. Anyway, returning to our main story. On one such afternoon, after a heavy royal lunch topped by a super sweet, cooling dessert dish, in Ram's royal court, the bard was singing and describing the battle with Ravan and how Ram eventually heroically killed the powerful, strong, mighty Ravan. While all were enjoying the sonorous song and drooping drowsily, suddenly Queen Sita laughed very, very softly. But it was loud enough, perhaps purposely so, to be heard by the sharp ears of Ram and Lakshman. They could not mistake the slightly mocking tone that the laughter conveyed, and at once King Ram asked the bard to stop his singing. Ram asked Queen Sita in the presence of the full court, perhaps again purposely so, "Why do you laugh so, my beloved dear queen?" At first, Sita acted innocent and said that her laughter was not directed at anyone. It was only a sign of joy expressed at Ravan's death, and so on and so forth. But the intelligent King Ram knew at once that the reason of her derisive laughter was something else, and her defenses sounded too shallow, flimsy, and weak, and he insisted on knowing the truth, no matter how bitter it may be. May I humbly suggest to the bored or famished reader or listener to take a brief break here and practice out a few different tones and types of mocking laughter, just in case they come in handy in your later life. So, after the brunch and laughing like a hyena break, we return to the main story. Finally, seeing that there was no escape, Sita put on the innocent, oh so dutiful wife act, in which she was an expert, like all women are naturally so, and said softly, "O my beloved dear king, your glory is undoubtedly great. Your deeds are valiant beyond compare. But I am a bit worried. You see, the Ravan you killed was only Dashamukha Ravan with only 10 heads. But he has an elder twin brother called Sahasramukha Ravan with 1,000 heads. This guy is 1,000 times more powerful and cruel than Dashamukha Ravan was. For the safety of the universe, Lord Brahma banished and confined him to a remote island called Pushkar with a curse that should he step out of it, he will die. But now that Dashamukha Ravan is dead, surely he will be plotting revenge." On hearing this, King Ram was at once goaded into action. Like the days of old, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman all got ready to lay siege to that remote island, accompanied this time, however, by the army not of monkeys but of lazy, pampered Ayodhya soldiers who had so far never fought a battle in their life. Queen Sita too accompanied them as an onlooker, as Ram did not want her to miss seeing his valor and heroic bravery on the battlefield this time. With a great roar of laughter, Sahasramukha Ravan came out of his fortress. A fierce battle ensued, and the Ayodhya army was the first to lay in swoon, struck by Sahasramukha Ravan's weapons of rusty lethargy and barbed astra. Ram and Lakshman too soon fell unconscious due to the poisonous fumes emitted by the evil breath of Sahasramukha Ravan. On seeing the inert bodies of Ram and Lakshman lying on the battlefield, Sita suddenly transformed into a fierce, dark, roaring goddess resembling Mahakali. With just the nail of her little finger, she beheaded Sahasramukha Ravan, swallowed his entire army in one gulp, and then, in one wave of her hand, caught hold of Lord Brahma's white beard and brought him, dragging and bumping, down the creaky heavenly staircase down to the battlefield. Revive them immediately, she ordered Lord Brahma, or I'll destroy your entire creation in one moment, and you along with it. Lord Brahma, trembling and shivering in fear of the fierce roaring goddess, hurriedly mumbled some magic mantras, sprinkled some soothing water, and at once revived Ram and Lakshman, who were lying unconscious, and also woke up the army of Ayodhya, who were lying snoring. On seeing the dead body of Sahasramukha Ravan, all gave a loud cry of victory. And thinking that Ram and Lakshman must have accomplished the good deed, raised slogans in their glorious names. Jai Shri Ram! For by now Sita had reverted back to being her shy, docile, dainty looking, dutiful housewife, original, usual form. So no one suspected that she may have killed Sahasramukha Ravan. Ram and Lakshman too thought that perhaps they themselves had killed Sahasramukha Ravan and then swooned in exhaustion. All returned to Ayodhya, none the wiser of the strange events that had taken place. But, dear reader, this author was present then as a silent witness, and today, after eons of years, I am narrating the actual version of events. So, why am I telling this story now? I decided to spill the beans and tell the world of this hitherto rarely heard story, simply so that credit is given rightfully where it is due. And it's the fashion to talk of women empowerment now. आमची गोष्ट सरो, तुमची पोट भरो. आमची गोष्ट आखूड, तुमच्या पाठीत लाकूड. May my story be short and simple. May your kids be born with a dimple. May your day be sweet and sunny. May your kids be fat and funny. Author's note number 1. I request the listener to take the story in a lighter vein with a pinch of snuff. The author sincerely does not wish to offend or hurt anyone's feelings and tenders an unconditional apology if anyone has been remotely offended by the story. Author's note number 2. This story is specially and sincerely dedicated as a gesture of gratitude to my 3 elder brothers, Captain Naresh Vaidya, Captain Vivek Natsne, Mr. Subodh Raje, and their respective wives and families for tolerating and supporting this wacky, crazy, cranky author, Paragraje. End of second weird story from the trilogy of stories from Ramayana, Why Queen Sita Laughed. Thank you, dear listener.